Well, it is a tragedy that continues to fascinate. After more than a century, the Titanic hitting an iceberg and sinking in April 1912.
Nearly 4 kilometers beneath the surface of the North Atlantic, where perpetual darkness blankets the ocean floor and pressure crushes anything unprotected, a groundbreaking discovery has emerged from the ruins of the RMS Titanic. This ship, once the epitome of luxury and human engineering, has rested on the seabed for over a century since its ill-fated voyage in April 1912. Though dozens of missions have visited the wreck over the decades, none have revealed what the latest expedition uncovered: a previously undetected chamber sealed off from the rest of the ship, harboring items and conditions that are fundamentally reshaping what we thought we understood about the Titanic, its voyage, and its destruction. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. The discovery began as part of a deep-sea survey utilizing advanced submersible technology. Researchers deployed a new generation of remotely operated vehicles, ROVs outfitted with ultrafine 3D imaging and AI-guided mapping tools. Their goal had been modest: document the current condition of the bow section, particularly the lower decks, which have been deteriorating at an accelerated pace due to microbial activity. While scanning an area near the boiler room, the ROV's sonar detected a metallic resonance behind a rusted section of bulkhead that had long been assumed to be solid. A probe revealed a hidden passage. Carefully maneuvering through this narrow space, the team's instruments found themselves inside a compartment untouched by the sea for 113 years. The sealed chamber was astonishing not only because it existed, but because of what it preserved. Sheltered from corrosion and the scouring touch of undersea currents, the room held items still intact: unfaded documents, personal belongings, and fixtures in near-original condition. In a corner, a folded deck chair rested as if ready for a passenger. On a table, papers remained legible, giving a ghostly glimpse into the routine functions and human narratives that filled the Titanic in its final hours. Among these papers were documents never cataloged in any known manifest: communication logs, engineering notes, and technical blueprints dated only days before the maiden voyage. The realization hit hard. These were records from behind the scenes, private logs that perhaps had never been intended for official eyes. Particularly intriguing was an engineering journal that documented late-stage structural changes made after the Titanic's sea trials but before departure. These notes suggested that modifications were implemented under pressure from White Star Line executives to improve performance and aesthetics, changes that subtly compromised the ship's stability and stress resilience. Among the entries were detailed calculations and stress diagrams indicating concern over the watertight compartments and their limitations if more than 4 flooded. It appears the engineering team had modeled multiple failure scenarios, some of which alarmingly resembled what ultimately befell the ship. This raises uncomfortable questions. Was there foreknowledge of potential design flaws? And if so, were warnings quietly buried to maintain confidence in the vessel's reputation? Adjacent to these documents, another set of papers stunned researchers even further: records of unlisted cargo stored deep in the ship's hold. These entries referenced unnamed crates protected under specific temperature conditions and guarded by third-party personnel unaffiliated with White Star Line. The cargo had not been declared in any public records, nor in insurance claims after the sinking. Initial scans of the compartment's remains hint that the mysterious cargo could have been experimental electrical equipment, perhaps even early radio or energy transmission technology not officially recognized at the time. If verified, this suggests Titanic may have been transporting technology decades ahead of its time, potentially linked to wireless power experimentation or alternative propulsion concepts rumored during the early 20th century scientific fringe. What elevates this find from speculative curiosity to transformative revelation is how it repositions the Titanic, not just as a tragic passenger liner, but as a vessel caught in a web of technological ambition, secrecy, and geopolitical undercurrents. The early 1900s were a time of feverish innovation, shadowed by intense competition between empires and private industrial giants. To find what appears to be confidential engineering advancements aboard a commercial passenger liner hints at a dual purpose. Titanic may have been a showcase for the public and a testbed for classified transport beneath the surface. Adding to the weight of the discovery was the condition of the room itself. Unlike the rest of the ship's interior, which has been gradually consumed by bacteria and collapsing metal, this chamber showed only minimal degradation. Experts believe that a rare combination of factors sealed it off. A sudden shift in structural collapse during the sinking, trapped air pockets, and an unlikely chain reaction of sediment buildup that preserved the bulkhead like a vault. The materials inside, including wood, cloth, and even remnants of food, were found in a state of arrested decay, offering scientists a pristine time capsule of Edwardian life down to the everyday minutiae. The implications stretch across disciplines. For marine archaeologists, it means a recalibration of preservation assumptions. What other compartments or entire rooms could remain similarly intact, simply hidden behind barriers no one has dared or thought to breach? For historians, it opens a realm of alternate narratives, confidential cargo, unspoken design flaws, unrecorded communications between shipbuilders and financiers. It brings into question the broader motivations behind the Titanic's design and hurried launch, challenging the long-standing narrative of hubris and tragedy with one of secrecy and purpose. The iceberg collision may not have been just an unfortunate accident, but rather a grim inevitability set into motion by decisions made far from the docks. Even the timing of the voyage gains a new layer of meaning. The ship's maiden journey, its luxurious appointments, and its wealthy roster of passengers have always been focal points of Titanic lore. But with this discovery, there is a newfound attention to who else was on board. Not just industrialists and aristocrats, but also anonymous officials, engineers, and couriers whose identities and purposes now demand scrutiny. The sealed chamber contained identification documents not belonging to any passenger on public records. These IDs were forged or coded, likely linked to non-civilian agencies or private industrial operatives possibly traveling undercover. This introduces the tantalizing possibility that the Titanic's journey was not merely commercial, but covert in ways still not entirely understood. From a technological perspective, if the cargo turns out to be what early analysis suggests, components of a high-frequency energy transmission device, then Titanic was transporting not just passengers, but intellectual property of potentially immense value. The early 20th century was a golden age of electrical experimentation. Nikola Tesla had proposed wireless power grids, and rumors of government interest in such technologies were rife. The involvement of such elements in the Titanic's cargo could imply that its voyage was part of a larger, undisclosed operation to move sensitive materials away from prying eyes, or toward collaborators across the Atlantic. This shifts Titanic from being a mere marvel of mechanical luxury to a mobile node in the arms race of innovation. It also reframes the idea of disaster. Was the iceberg merely an obstacle in a sea of unknowns? Or did this collision interrupt something far greater than a luxury voyage? The contents of the hidden chamber imply a shadow layer to the Titanic's mission, one that might have remained forever sealed had modern exploration not pushed further than ever before. That this room survived at all is a marvel, an underwater tomb undisturbed by time, guarded by pressure, silence, and the deep sea's shroud. Its existence is a reminder that even the most examined disasters still have secrets yet to be unearthed. There is also a cultural weight to this finding. The Titanic has long held a unique place in public imagination, a monument to human ambition, a floating city destined for glory, cut down by nature's cold hand. That myth now shifts. It becomes darker, more complex. No longer just a cautionary tale of overconfidence, it now hints at hidden agendas and technological ambition interwoven with personal tragedy. The passengers remain victims, but perhaps of more than just an iceberg. They were passengers on a ship that may have been compromised before it ever left port, its true nature obscured by the grandeur on display. New footage of the chamber has sparked global fascination. The clarity of the visuals, floating particles caught in still water, the eerie silence interrupted only by the occasional creak of metal, makes for a haunting tableau. Researchers have compared the preservation to Pompeii, where daily life was frozen in ash. Here, life is frozen in pressure, cold, and a strange fluke of physics. Every object recovered is being analyzed, every document scanned, with multidisciplinary teams converging to interpret what this unexpected find means. The story of the Titanic, it turns out, was not finished being told. And yet, despite the data, mystery remains. Some items defy immediate explanation. One device in the corner of the room, encased in protective material and bolted to the floor, has yet to be identified. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on this Titanic discovery? Did it surprise you? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.